I'm Brett Baer. Breaking tonight, President Biden changes his policy on filibuster reform, saying he now favors changing Senate rules, even if it means eliminating the filibuster in order to pass voting rights legislation. A filibuster for the minority that Biden fought to protect as a senator. The president went to Atlanta today to push voting rights legislation as frustration and worry around the coronavirus pandemic builds. His coronavirus advisors were grilled on Capitol Hill today. Instead, the president choosing to focus on an issue he hopes will unite and invigorate his political base. But at least right now, the votes aren't there, and progressives are skeptical. In fact, one of the leading progressive advocates for voting changes, who happens to be from Georgia, snubbed the president, electing not to show up in Atlanta today. White House correspondent Peter Doocy starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. The president isn't even back here yet, and the NAACP is already pressuring him to back up today's big talk, saying in a statement, voting rights should not simply be a priority, it must be the priority. But it's not the only thing on the president's plate as COVID continues to spread more than ever.
It worldwide is not slowing up very much.
COVID cases in this country climbing higher. 1.5 million new positive tests Monday, a new world record. Still,
But I'm confident we're on the right track.
so President Biden is looking for a dual track,
I'm tired of being quiet.
Perfect. That's
pivoting
it.
from the pandemic to voting rights.
For the right to vote and to have that vote counted is democracy's threshold liberty. Without it, nothing is possible. But with it, anything is possible.
The president has failed to contain the pandemic as promised, and he's failed so far to advance his Build Back Better plan. So Democrats will try instead to focus on voting rights.
The Senate is going to act as soon as tomorrow.
Democratic leaders are looking to change Senate rules, doing away with the filibuster to try and pass voting rights legislation with fewer than 60 votes.
Let the majority prevail. And if that bare minimum is blocked, we have no option but to change the Senate rules, including getting rid of the filibuster for this.
Progressive voting rights activists boycotted Biden.
We don't need another speech. We don't need him to come to Georgia and use us as a prop. What we need is work.
The most prominent liberal voting rights activist in the country, who lives in the city Biden spoke in, also a no-show, citing a scheduling conflict. Stacey Abrams.
I spoke with Stacey this morning. We have a great relationship. We got our scheduling mixed up.
Long lines in this country this month haven't been at polling places, but instead COVID testing sites.
Well, I think it's obvious that the administration has failed the American people on getting enough tests.
Now, the feds can't snap their fingers and make tests appear, but they can update guidance, according to the Washington Post, to recommend N95 or KN95 masks, something that even the most pro-mask politicians struggle with.
This looks stupid.
And the president made a off-camera comment this evening very quickly where he said it seems like yesterday the first time he got arrested. Now, Joe Biden has previously told stories about being arrested in South Africa, at the U.S. Capitol, and at the University of Delaware, but he has since walked all those stories back. Brett?
What have we learned, Peter, about the confusion over this comment the CDC director made about COVID deaths?
Brett, it turns out that the comment that got so much play online and on TV had been edited by ABC, who did the interview with Rochelle Walensky, in a way that made it sound like she was saying that 75% of COVID deaths are people with at least 4 comorbidities, and that she thought that was encouraging in the context of Omicron. What was missing, what had been cut out, is that she was referring to vaccinated people. So basically she was saying that the vaccines are so effective, only people with 4 comorbidities, people who are very sick already, are dying of COVID.
Yeah,
Brett.
and I asked about the broader stats, and she did not have that stat as of yet. Peter Doocy live on the North Lawn. Peter, thanks.